Hi guys, it's me, Kat, MrsHandyRU. I'm flying by the seat of my pants tonight. I haven't had time to prepare very well, but I have my notes. I have family here. I'm upstairs in a secret location. And tomorrow is going to be even busier, so I thought I'd try to get in what I could. So I saw Kari Lake, who's was running for governor in Arizona, and now she's running for senator in Arizona. I think that President Trump will name her as the VP running mate at some point. I'm sorry, I just realized we're all crooked. Is that better? I don't know. And anyway, my PJs, sorry. So I saw her live in Hollis, New Hampshire. She was doing a Republican fundraiser for a relatively small group of people here, and I live in New Hampshire, as you probably know. And she mentioned crossings. Now, a lot of it I just videotaped. Some of it I wrote down and then I videotaped again, but this part here I was writing word for word what she said. And she mentioned very few ill crossings. And as soon as she said crossings, I thought of, crossing the Delaware, like I talked about before, with, I think Diana was Colonel Rall, R-A-L-L, during the first battle that the Patriots won in Trenton. And Colonel Rall all comes up coded as Diana. And either he did on purpose or he didn't know he was supposed to or whatever, have to kind of throw the battle. He ignored 3 warnings that were alerts, like we're looking for right away, at least I am, for the Patriots coming. And if you think mirror, what would happen right now would be the opposite. It would be the other way around, and it looks like we lose, right? So it looks like whatever battle comes up or attack, we end up conceding and giving in, putting up the white flag of surrender. But it's all fake, right? I hope you can hear me okay. I might have to turn it up. So that I got that from very few ill crossings. And just saying the word crossings, and it was an awkward sentence. It just reminded me of crossing the Delaware and the famous painting that likely was by Junior, and of President Trump rowing the boat across the Delaware with his compatriots in the boat, and Junior's in the front. She mentioned, this is all from Kari Lake, K-A-R-I-L-A-K-E, down to a trickle, and that's simple gematria. It's 170. It's Mary Magdalene and World War III. So we've got war COMMS, and I've been getting them a lot lately. And in Jewish, it's 1372, and it's John Kennedy, SR, Senior. And then she said, all of my life, and I've been around for a while, meaning till, beginning of our time that we've been counting. And then she said, any moment they can turn off the spigot, like the water spigot, like, a fake tsunami or tsunamis plural. They can turn off the spigot. Let's see. What else is interesting? A lot of it's interesting. She mentioned power saws chopping it down. I didn't work on that. I hope one of you guys will. I haven't had time to do all of it, but I have a lot, but I didn't do everything. But that was a good one. Power saws would be one, and then chopping it down would be another phrase, and then you kind of look at them together, what you come up with. And then she did a Trumpology or a Trumpism, and a small sec, and then corrected to section, and SEC, besides being Southeastern Conference, is Trumpology, and it's 98 in Jewish gematria. It equals fake name, like I'm not really Kari Lake. And she said, we have an invasion of a foreign army coming across the border, and that's what it's going to look like. it will all be fake. Who knows? It could look like China or Russia, or who knows what. Just be ready for anything, you know. Let's see. And she mentioned 525 days running for God. And I'm thinking like running from God, because a lot of people don't believe in God, or they don't admit God is real or anything. And I think once all this happens, one of the reasons it's all going to happen is to bring people to say, God, help me. I think that's really one of the reasons all this is going to happen the way it's happening. You know, the fake stuff that looks scary. Mentioned in the blink of an eye, and blink of an eye in simple is 119, which is, again, Mary Magdalene. And in Jewish, it's storm is coming, 588. And a quick turnaround for our country. And to me, that is like an opposite kind of calm, because it'll look like we lose. So she's saying there'll be a quick turnaround for our country once they get back in power. But it also can mean it's going to look like we lose, you know, mirrored. And she said, here's the thing. I don't know where I decoded that here. Where did I do the thing? There's a lot of pages here. I'll get there. She said, even the Dems are waking up. We'll need a bigger headquarters here. Okay, where did I do? I'm excited. Guys, it's so hard to keep up with. Father has a history, and he's a teacher. Am I the only one with a lump in my throat flying into Boston? And to me, that was a Junior reference, possibly, but I do think it was Diana at that moment. I don't think it was Junior with like a thing covering his throat right there. But lump in my throat, literally, in Jewish is 1128. And this is perfect. It's perfect for what I've been thinking of. I am lifting curses placed on the elect. That's what she's going to do. I still think it's probably Jackie and Diana. I don't think it's just her. Although I've been wrong so many times. You know. Yeah. Because if Jesus didn't die when he was supposed to die, there was still the generational curses and likely other curses that I can't think of right now that are passed on, especially generational. They move on, you know, one generation to the other, and like the sins of the father pass on to the 10th generation, and even that kind of sin. And it doesn't take much to sin. So that could be why we're having all these medical problems and psychological problems. Let's see. And also it's in Jewish, it's 2729 equals December 22, which happens to be today. And then let World War III start, and light is here and the darkness will vanish. Matches. Then we have crystal ball. She said that crystal ball, like they knew what was coming, and that equals John Kennedy, because of course he would know the front and the back of everything. And it equals dark to light. So it's the 23rd today. Hang on. It's the 23rd today. And that means it's the first day of getting, or is it yesterday? I've lost track of what day it is today. Today's Saturday. Tomorrow's the 24th. So it's the 23rd. So today's the second full day of dark going to light. And so it equals, crystal ball equals dark to light. And then she said, if we do, she said that 3 times in a row, and that equals Queen and Magdalene. In simple, it's 62. In Jewish, 974. I am stalked, dead by both. In other words, I've been saying I can do everything. And she couldn't yet. And she mentioned start that conversation. She was supposedly at a news station in Arizona. She brought that up for 22 years. 22, like the number of the day JFK took himself off the Earth plane. We were pushing propaganda, she says. It was scary to be walking away from security, meaning leaving the Garden of Eden. That's what she's really talking about. But she's saying at the time that she left the news station to go into politics. Let's see. I found myself praying to God, opened a Bible, 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 7. And then she said, lifers stay forever and ever. Forever and ever. She mentioned people that I worked with forever. Boom, they turned on me. Team would give me... Now, I had no timestamps because I'm listening to it live. I was there. I'm sure if you look back on a video, if somebody had a full video of it, it would have all correlated to timestamps like 17s and 55s and things like that. Let's see. She mentioned Liz Cheney, Obama, Chris Christie campaigned against me. Then I got nervous. HRC talked, Hillary Clinton talked about me. I told my team I am not suicidal. My brakes are fine. That was pretty funny. Everybody laughed. They see what he, in other words, POTUS, President Trump, sacrificed. Let's see. I'm going to skip a little bit. I hope New Hampshire bursts open the dam to win. And why did they sabotage Election Day? How about at the cross? Sabotaging at the cross. Getting Jesus down. If he probably did suffer, but they got him down so he didn't really die. That's my thought. Or maybe more than one should have been there. Up on a cross. Let's see. I want to get down to where I have more coding. As President Trump says, we're going to swamp him, meaning, the Biden. But that also is a tsunami calm. She said 55 or 6% of America say something's wrong with our elections. Well, 55 is Lady Di. It's not just JFK, JR, it's Lady D.I., Di. And then she mentioned that's how wars are started. She said that 2 or 3 times. And bring God back. We need to bring God back. That was 2 or 3 times. And we all wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning wondering what's going on. Like the alerts in the middle of the night, maybe Christmas Eve. I don't know if it'll be Christmas Eve. That's what I'm really wondering right now. Like think about the movie. It's older at this point, but the animated movie Nightmare Before Christmas. And then I've got the book somewhere. I don't know where I put it. Here. An old copy of The Night Before Christmas. And I really think that there's a possibility, at least some percentage of a possibility, that we get alerts on the 24th going into the morning of the 25th. I don't know for sure, you know that, but there's definitely a chance. And I already had decoded ages ago about Clement Seymour, who wrote that poem, that was like a junior character or a junior persona that wrote that. And, I rose from my bed to see what was the matter and what to my wondering eyes should appear. Like lights in the sky. Who knows? I don't know if you can see this or it's backwards. I always forget how this turns out on the video. Yeah, we all wake up and think about, like I've mentioned before, a Christmas carol, the different versions of a Christmas carol. Well, in one version, lately I noticed that it was the only one, though, they had it set up that it was going to be one ghost per night coming to see Ebenezer Scrooge in that version of A Christmas Carol. But as far as I get from bite-sized audio, Simon, our Simon that we love, on Bite-Sized Audio. He did the whole Christmas Carol word for word, and I'm pretty sure that was still, they were at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know how many there'd be. There'll be like false alerts, just like in Trenton with the Revolutionary War. There would be maybe 3 false alerts and then one that's supposed to be a real one that isn't real. Or if they're more spread out, or if they're over 3 days. It's a good question. Let's see. So anyway, it was really cool to see Kari Lake. And like I said, I'm pretty sure she was Diana. Somewhere I did a whole decode on Kari Lake previously, but I don't know if I have her name in here right now. I hope so. Let me put this down. That can look a little better. Sorry, I told you I'm not together right now. Yeah. Okay. So Kari, Kari, is simple gematria. It's 39, and it equals Jackie, Deanna. So it's like both. So because I really do think both have been playing Kari Lake. A lot of the time, I think it's Jackie playing Kari Lake because of the shape of her hands and the way her finger curves. And if you look on the Clouseau video at Jackie's hand when she's waving at President Trump, that's one of the early videos on Clouseau, C-L-O-U-S, 1S, E-A-U, on YouTube. She has the same hands, and that's how she usually looks to me. But then again, today, that night, she was Diana, and Juan, who is usually Diana, this is so funny, calls Diana Deanna. So that's kind of funny. So Kari equals Jackie equals Deanna. Kari in Jewish equals I am fake, and it equals I am fake and then comma lied. So Kari's telling you right there with her name. And Kari Lake is simple is 68 and it equals Jenny for Jennifer Mack, the Jennifer Mack, and equals also bad news. My baby. Yeah, she hurt her own baby. I think they all hurt their own kids in the Garden of Eden. They're just gone. And unified. So Kari Lake also equals unified. Like 2 of them are being Kari Lake. Let's see. Kari Lake has, if you read about Kari Lake, you'll see she has a daughter named Ruby. And remember Junior, JFK JR, at one point in the very early rallies at Moon Township in Pennsylvania, the very first one that was broadcast, he had a sign. It said "Woman for Trump," and then in red ink it said Ruby and cute. And so here we have Kari Lake with a daughter named Ruby. And remember in a recent video I said Diana played Lee Harvey Oswald all by the coding and how it was so fake and all that. And I showed you from that old newspaper. Actually, maybe in the old newspaper I was talking only about that episode. I might have only talked about Junior was Jack Ruby. Jack Rubenstein is the full name. And he supposedly shot Lee Harvey Oswald in the jail, which I think is what's going to happen to President Trump when he gets fake arrested. There'll be a fake SHOOTING, and it'll look like everybody's last hope is gone. But see, the point is, don't put your hope in man, put your hope in God. So that's another point of what's going on, if that does look like it happens to President Trump, like I think. So anyway, so JFK JR, JFK Jr. played, as far as I can tell, Jack Ruby, but in that same photo you see Lee Harvey Oswald with this kind of face, like, oh, I'm going down. And it looked like really dramatic overacting, and I'm pretty sure that was Diana at the time. So I did In the Blink of an Eye, which she had said earlier in the speech, and that's 175. It equals The Secret Revealed. Okay, so in the blink of an eye, simple 175 equals Lee Harvey Oswald. So it equals that person's name that I already had worked on. It equals Diana Frances Spencer. So her name, full name, equals Lee Harvey Oswald. Now, what are the chances of that? And it equals Phoenix, Arizona, 175. And that's supposedly where she was a news announcer and news anchor for 22 years. So in Phoenix. And then in Jewish, it's 750 in the blink of an eye. And it equals psyops, and all is not as it seems, and eyes to see. If you have eyes to see, you'll figure out what's going on. And that time when she said SEC, like sec, and then section, she corrected it. Well, SEC is 27 in simple, and it's JFK, also equals a lie, and faked. So 27 also equals JMAC, JMAC, and I die. So it sounds like Jennifer Mack is one of those people. And I think they both played Jennifer Mack too. You know, tall Diana, short Jackie at different moments in time. And she said, here's the thing. That's one of her isms, Kari-ism. And it equals League of Legends in Jewish 465. It equals Emmy, the box, like the box under the raised seat of the limo in the rear of the Lincoln limo on 11/22/63, where the mannequins were under the seat. Now I do think there were two mannequins. I wasn't sure if there was just one, but at this point I think there were two, one of each of them. Jackie and President Kennedy. Here's the thing also equals simple 146, and it's central casting. United Kingdom, like you can look at it as united, like two of them, and United Kingdom as a reference to Diana. We act as one mind equals central casting. Power outage, real president, world holiday, and Sinead O'Connor. And I think that, I don't know for sure, I can't remember which, if it was one or the other or both, but one of them at least played Sinead O'Connor, that activist singer that had her hair shaved several years ago. So she said, I'm excited 3 times, and that equals the here's the thing phrase that I did. And she really wants us to notice that, like Emmy, central casting, League of Legends, and United Kingdom. So she kept mentioning terms that equaled that. So anyway, I thought that was really cool. Let's see, what else can I tell you? I have something about the Alamo here, but I don't think I should get into it right now. I can't find my notes on Ryan Terrell. Where'd it go? Okay, so I met Ryan Terrell, who's President Trump has called out to before. You know, he's talked to him before rallies begin. You can see him talking to him right before he gets on stage. Ryan Terrell was at a rally that I was at in New Hampshire a few years ago, and I recognized him after I got home. I didn't recognize him at the time, but once I got home, and I took screenshots of, you know, the rally, because it was also on RSBN, and I took screenshots, and I started comparing pictures, because he had said something about, I don't know if he said the word abolition or something to make you think of the civil rights movement. And I went, oh my gosh, is that Martin Luther King? So I started looking up old pictures of Martin Luther King, and there he was. That was this Ryan Terrell, who's high up in the New Hampshire Republican Party, is a younger Martin Luther King. So I got to talk to him. I didn't get to take a selfie because I'm just not used to remembering to do that. So I feel stupid. I didn't remember. And anyway, so I asked him where he lived, and he said that he had lived, I think it was Nashua, which is a bigger city nearby. But then he said, but now he lived in Lee. And to me, that was hysterical, because Lee is yet another place with double letters. You know, so we've got the two E's. We've got Ryan, there's an R, and then we have Terrell, and that's got two R's and two L's. But then when you do the R and the Terrell, Ryan, Terrell, you get three R's. So, you know, who knows if he really lives in Lee, but that's right nearby here. He's like second from the top in the New Hampshire Republican Party, supposedly, and he started a company that deals in hair products for, I guess, African Americans. So I looked up an article about him. So the company is called Tribe, Trybe, Hair Care, and he represents the 5th District 5, which is always COMMS 5, on the New Hampshire State Board of Education. This was an article from a couple years ago, and that's when it said he lives in Nashua. Let's see. Another article said he was a systems analyst and currently a project manager for Evolve Salon Systems, a salon professional beauty product distributor, because he's got these long dreadlocks, long, and it's quite funny. And he's responsible for all the digital, email, and marketing campaigns of that company. And he grew up in New Orleans, like I could have coded New Orleans, and has lived in New Hampshire since 2011. And headline of the article was, Counselor accuses New Hampshire Governor Sununu, who President Trump really dissed lately, basically telling us he's gone. That's our Governor Sununu that we see is not the real Governor Sununu, and that ours has been gone. And I've thought that for a long time, because I've seen the old pictures of Sununu and the newer ones, and they're not the same person. Counselor accuses New Hampshire Governor Sununu of engaging in tokenism with education nominee. So, let's see. And tokenism jumped out at me, and that equals, in Jewish 334, it equals the male hidden one, like Martin Luther King, MLK. It equals Christ-like, Christ child, all colors. It equals all colors, and it equals the black ones. So that was really cool. So there's a whole branch. I've wondered about when this is going to come up for me, because I knew there were black Christ figures, but I wasn't sure who it was. Like, I'm wondering if Nat King Cole is one of them, Michael Jackson, all those guys. Let's see. So tokenism in simple is 106, and it's Martinez, like Martin Luther King, Martinez, identity, comma, colon, protected, apologize, teamwork, kill shot, because he was supposed to have been shot, the hermit, and a lot of people that do tarot, like Janine, she'll get the hermit card, and she'll get things from the hermit. I wonder if it's Martin Luther King. So Ryan in Jewish is 521, and that equals black operations, like Black Ops, but he's black, right? And then I'll spell it, and it equals, so Ryan equals ASSASSINATION, one of those words you don't say, and it equals Prophet Muhammad, and December to remember, hit the nail on the head. All that matches Ryan in Jewish. And in simple, it equals teeth. And it's really funny, because I noticed that his teeth were kind of like discolored and very in and out. Not that they were horrible, but his teeth didn't look quite up to snuff there. And anyway, like maybe they were faked to look like that. And teeth also equals I'm here. So Ryan equals teeth equals I'm here. His name equals basket. Now, I had a weird thing happen when this was all coming up to me. You won't even believe this. I have to tell you this one. So I was watching Joseph Prince Ministries, and he was telling a story about a father who was trying to get his son to do what he had asked him to do, but the son wasn't listening. So Joseph Prince tells a story about the son. He asked the son to take this basket down to the river and get water, and the son said, but it won't hold any water. And the dad's like, well, go ahead and do it anyway. And so the son kept doing it over and over, and finally he is saying to his dad, I just don't get it. What's going on? And he says, well, you may not have gotten any water, but look how clean the basket is. So in other words, Dad knew what he was talking about. He knew what he wanted. He wanted the basket clean. He didn't really want water. And when I saw that, I just about, my mouth, right, it just fell open, and you won't even believe why. Because I keep a basket on my stairs to put like dirty kitchen towels and dishcloths in, and then when I go back upstairs where the washing machine is, I'll bring the basket and I'll dump it on top of the washer, and I'll eventually wash everything. And so I'm watching this at one point in time, and just before I saw this little part of Joseph Prince's sermon, I had already been to the washing machine. So I had been to the washing machine, and I came and sat down to hear this part of the sermon. And I had opened up the washer to take the wet clothes out, put them in the dryer. When I took the wet stuff out, my basket was in there. My basket was in the washing machine. And when I took it out, my basket was all clean and shiny. It wasn't all old and yucky like it used to be. Can you believe this? So I'd taken my basket out of the washer and gone, wow, it didn't destroy it. It was a high-speed spinning thing. Didn't destroy it. Here's my basket, not broken, all clean and shiny and beautiful. And I just was really shocked that I even was stupid enough to put it in the washer like that. And then I come in and I listen to Joseph Prince talking about, and look at how nice and clean the basket is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? I think I know what's going on, really. But anyway, back to Ryan Terrell, Martin Luther King. Terrell is in Jewish, it's 310, and it's second death, and Mr. and Mrs. So I'm wondering, okay, does Diana play him too sometimes? Who knows? Hallelujah, and arrested. Remember, MLK had been arrested. Missing, and after death. And Ryan Terrell, when you put the name together, it's simple 148, and it's Donald J. Trump, like he's signing it. I'm behind all this. Idol worship, a message from God, divine presence, time traveler, and Protestant. And Martin Luther was the one who nailed the I can't remember what you called it, but nailed it, I don't think it was the whole Bible, but his letter or whatever about he wanted the truth to be told about the Bible, and that's what started the Reformation with the Protestant church, breaking away from just being Catholic. But there was a name for that when that happened. I don't know what it was. And it equals God forgive us because he faked his death. So I tried in gematrix.org, which I know Tom doesn't like to do, but I do it. I tried Ryan Terrell is MLK. In Jewish, it was 990, and it equals yes. It equals 17, and it's April Fool's Day. So his whole name equals April Fool's Day, and it equals Queen of Our Hearts, and that's what Diana's nickname was, Queen of Our Hearts. And Ruby Cute, which was on the sign that JFK JR held up. Remember I told you? So, anyway, all that matches his name. And Ryan Terrell is MLK, and simple is 212, equals do you know who I am? And there are no coincidences, which is a cue phrase, right? And it equals John Kennedy Jr., like he's behind everything, maybe signing it, kind of. Ryan Terrell was the founder of Tribe, and that's all capitals, Trybe, hair care, and Tribe in Jewish is 587, equals a restart on life. Billy the Kid, and President Trump mentioned him a lot in different rallies, Billy the Kid and other people. It equals Trump of God and gender neutral, so maybe there are two people playing him. Trybe in simple is 70, and it's Yahweh, Yahweh, equals Q drop, hidden God, secret, Adam and Eve, incest. So I wonder if he was involved in all this back in the Garden of Eden too, you know, so it was beyond that with like cannibalism and all these horrible things. And then wrath, like God's wrath maybe, and then cursed. And I think all of the antecedents, or whatever you want to call us, all the people that followed were cursed because of all this stuff that happened. And equals due process, like there's going to be a comeuppance and justice and all that. And it equals the called. So tribe from the hair care line is also called the called. So anyway, that's enough about Ryan Terrell. So I think I got the gist of everything. I mean, I have tons more, but you got the point. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I know a lot of you guys are having a hard time because of the time of year. I had one person reach out to me. It was really special, and I appreciate that. And I answered, of course. So if anybody needs me, I'm MrsHandyRU, letter R, letter U, at gmail.com. And anyway, I'm also on WhatsApp if you want to look at me for me on WhatsApp. And I had to get new Telegram channels because I kept Bob's, my husband's, old telephone number, and that messed up all my Telegram linking because I couldn't use this new phone number with it. And the reason was because he had a profile, so it's just complicated on Telegram. So I have MrsHandyRU Chit Chat 2, and I have MrsHandyRU Cat Michaud, Michaud. So if you could follow me on there, I'd appreciate it. You guys can post on the Chit Chat one. You can post whatever you want as long as it's not like a scary thing or something. And anyway, I'd like to see you guys all there. See if we can get over 200 people for a change. I know a lot of people watch, but not that many people look on Telegram. So anyway, what do you think about this? What do you think? You think it's going to be... So I'm recording this Saturday evening, but so this would be tomorrow, the 24th. It just seems interesting. What do you think? I don't know. I mean, I didn't do a lot of gematria decoding on it. I didn't have time, but... And it's interesting that it has then in a twinkling is in here. And I think that, you know, the Grinch had it right. You know, you think about all these characters in Christmas stories that were confused or didn't understand Christmas or didn't like Christmas. They were right. They were the ones that were right. You know, like Charlie Brown saying, what is Christmas all about? Well, it wasn't true. What Linus told him, that's what Linus thinks in the Charlie Brown Christmas. But that's not what really happened as far as I know. So I think it's really cool to figure this stuff out. And then when you have coding come up that, you know, verifies it, it just feels like it's more and more that way. Now, Tom says that, you know, all the good stuff starts right around November 5th this coming year, which is a leap year. And that's election day in the United States for President Trump. So we'll have to see. So I'm wondering, is the bad stuff happening soon? and then we have to go through a period of, you know, dark times that are like not real, or at least they're manipulated. Like if it could look like all the volcanoes in the U.S. go off, and you know, that kind of thing, fake tsunamis, all that. So we'll have to see. Let me know in the comments, please, what you think about all this, any part of it. Like my even mentioning The Nightmare Before Christmas, The Night Before Christmas by Clement Seymour. And like I said, I don't have the coding for Clement Seymour in front of me, but if you did it, you'd find out it was a junior type com. I love this book. I love the illustrations. It's so cute. And it had a little record that was supposed to come with it in the front, but it's not with it when I got it. But look at the illustrations. Isn't it the cute? I mean, I know it's all hokey and, you know, fake and all that, and it's manipulated, but I like the way that person drew them. I guess let's at least give the person that. And look at the puppies. Look at the puppies. They're so cute. And I don't know. Yeah. And just to be woken up at night, you know, that's the key part of this. Waking them up at night and telling everybody to be quiet. He's just going to get down to what he had to get down to, and yeah. Visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. Maybe I should read it. I'll read it to you. You want me to read it to you? I'll read it to you. Okay, here we go. Here. The Night Before Christmas by Clement C. Moore, Moore. This is from this version anyways. I think it says 19... Gee, I can't read it. 1949. Okay. Got the kitty sleeping and the fish. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled, all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. Can you see that? I don't know. Dad looked surprised. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. Oop, got a bunny in there. Got a rabbit. Oh, 2 rabbits. When what to my wondering eyes should peer but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away all, as dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky. So up on the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all covered with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of the pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke had encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed, oh, 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 like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. Like fake stuff, fake attacks, not real. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. Oh, look at all the toys. Look at that, the tree, the toys. So unlike the Grinch, he was leaving things. And laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight. Oops, sorry. Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Did you like that? I hope you liked that. That was nice. I enjoyed reading that. So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you guys are all well. And you know we're going to get through this together. Everything's going to be all right. No matter what happens, whatever day, okay? And don't worry, don't fret. And if you want to email me, go right ahead. I would love to talk to you. And I always leave my post office box at the end of the video. So if you want to drop a note, that'd be fine. I'd be glad to answer you. And I had a decode on a Christmas story, but I don't know if you guys would like that. But we'll see. Let me know. I love you guys. Take care. Take care of each other. I love you. Bye.